And we are live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you had a better Monday night than I did. I went 0-4 in the NBA. That makes I'm down 8 units in the last 6 days. Luckily, I'm still up huge from the heater I was on, but didn't plan on giving a whole shitload of it back right away. That was for sure. But hey, that's gambling. It happens. Prop Ever is also here, in addition to the 3 you see on the screen. When we get to an NBA game, we'll bring Prop Ever on. No, they can't hear you, Prop Ever. I have your camera muted until you're on screen. First, before we get started, Scoop brought a trend. He's saying no NFL team, and he's saying this is an absolute lock. He's dead serious. He said no NFL team has ever won the following week after eliminating Josh Allen from the playoffs. So every single time Josh Allen has been eliminated from the playoffs in his career, that team that eliminated him has lost the following week. So that would point towards a Ravens win. It makes no sense. It's stupid, but he's really hanging his hat on it. So if you want to follow Scoop's trend, Ravens money line would be the play, I guess.
It's a good trend.
All right, anyway. We got Butler on the road at Georgetown. We'll start with some Big East. And this, he said it's not his trend, it's the trend. Someone said. All right, so we'll start with some Big East. We got Butler on the road in Georgetown. And actually, I'm going to bring Toast up to talk about this one first because I am just tailing him because he seems weirdly confident about this. I don't know why, but Toast likes Georgetown here. He thinks they win outright. Go ahead.
I do think they win outright. Understand that they're 1-6 in conference play, fully aware of that. But if you take a look at what they've done in conference play, they went on the road their first conference game to this team that they're playing, Butler, tonight, and they lost. I don't think they played well. I think Butler had like the last 10 minutes of the first half. They looked really good. And then besides that, it was a close game all the way through. Then they lost to Marquette on the road. They lost to Creighton at home. Seton Hall, who's becoming one of the best teams in the country right now. UConn, and then Xavier on the road. I mean, that's just like a gauntlet of teams. And now they come home back to face a Butler team that has done what this year? I mean, beating Marquette. I mean, I guess that's what they can hang their hat on. I just don't see it here with them. I think that Georgetown's going to continue to get better with Cooley as their coach. I understand that it's ugly, but I think that if there's one game that they can win, it's going to be this one. I understand it's gross, but I really think they have a good shot at home to win this game. So I took them +4, and I also took them on the money line at +150.
I'm putting it up for me, too, because I'm tailing. Toast finally snapped his cold streak. Toast's been bringing in some units the last few days. I'm tailing. Don't have a lean either way. Just straight up tailing Toast on this one. Let's bring up Andy. Do you agree?
Yeah, gross is a good way to put it. I don't know if Georgetown wins the game outright, but Butler on the road hasn't been great. Georgetown at home actually played a close game earlier in Big East play. I think it was against Seton Hall too. That I said they were going to play a close game. They've been good at home. They do play bad defense, but I mean everybody plays bad defense at this point if you're in the bottom of a league. So I think they keep it close. I don't know if they win, but yeah, it's a gross game.
Scoop, Georgetown? Oh, that's Toast. Scoop?
Yeah, this may be the first time Georgetown's been mentioned in this show. It's been terrible the last couple of years, but it's going to be a wild bet. Yeah, Georgetown hasn't been playing terribly.
It's a Georgetown sweep.
It's funny that this line is actually 3. I don't remember a Georgetown Big East line that's short right now. They covered against UConn. They covered against Seton Hall last week. I thought they'd pull out that Xavier win.
So this is not your grandfather's Georgetown?
No, it's not Patrick Ewing's Georgetown either. Jaden Epps has the capability of putting up big points. He's had 30 against Seton Hall and Xavier. This line opened up 4.5 down to 3. I'm still riding. Yeah, I'm riding Georgetown.
Someone in Dylan Reynolds in the comments said you guys always sleeping on Butler. We'll see. Our poll is pretty split. What's that?
Oh, go ahead, Bob. You're good.
I was just going to say our poll is split. 36%, 36%. Butler and Georgetown. 27% decided to pass. Next. NBA, and welcome Prop Ever. Here he is, wearing a Padres hat.
You know what type of day it's going to be with that hat on.
I don't even know what that means. Does that mean good?
No, it means the team's pass.
All right, so Prop Ever, we're starting off with Nuggets, Pacers. This line was at 3. It was actually at 3 for a little bit when I was recording last night. Then it was 3.5. Now it's at 5. Clearly moving towards Denver. What's his name? Halliburton's out and Nembhard's questionable, I believe, right?
Yes.
Do you have a move in this one?
Yeah, I actually have my biggest bet of the year in this one. But when I tweeted it, Halliburton I thought was going to go. So he's not going. So that definitely tempers my confidence a bit, but because it could be a blowout. But if this is a close game, I love Aaron Gordon to go off on the boards. I did a ladder for Aaron Gordon. I did 7+ rebounds at -130 for a unit, 8+ rebounds for a half unit at +125, 9+ rebounds for 0.35 units at +210, and a double-double at +375 for 0.15 units, risking 2 units total. Yeah.
You're all in on Aaron Gordon.
I really am. I love the spot for him. I think everything's come together for a monster performance. He's cashed his last 3 or 4 games with 10+ in all 3 of those cashes, averaging 9 rebounds per game on 13.3 chances. The spread was at 3.5, and Denver on the road is way less potent, so hopefully less chance of a blowout. And Gordon over his last 4 games is averaging 37 minutes per game. With just 31+ minutes, he's 20-7 to 7+ rebounds. Cashed his last 6 of 8 at 8+ rebounds. Cashed his last 5 of 8 at 9+ rebounds. And cashed his last 4 of 8 at a double-double. So with 33+ minutes, nevertheless 31+ minutes, the hit rate is godly. And Gordon has excellent history on the glass against this Indy team. He's averaging 8.6 rebounds per game in the last 13 matchups. He hit 7+ in 10 of 13, 8+ in 9 of 13, 9+ in 7 of 13, and 10+ in 5 of those games. And power forwards have been smoking their lines like a black and mild against the Indy lately. They've allowed the 4th most rebounds per game to the position in the last 30 days. We've seen 13 forwards hit 7+ rebounds against Indy in their last 13 games, and all 13 of them hit 8+, 10 of them hit 9+, and 8 of those 13 forwards hit 10+. So it's scary to throw units around like this, and it's even scarier because I thought Halliburton was going to be playing for sure. But I love Aaron Gordon to go off on the boards today. It is a smash spot. We are seeing some absolute scrubs hit this total on the glass. Gordon's way more potent than those guys.
Yeah, and that actually is congruent with what I was saying last night in the video I uploaded. I said you might
watch the video, and I saw that.
Yeah. I mean, a couple things the Pacers struggle with defensively is fouling, sending guys to the foul line. They struggle to protect the rim. And they struggle keeping their opponents off the offensive glass. That's Aaron Gordon, Aaron Gordon, Aaron Gordon. All the analytics point to Aaron Gordon being a nightmare matchup for the Pacers, so I get that. If you guys watched the video last night, I said take Denver at -3. It's at 5 now. Would I take it at 5? I guess, but I mean, we're talking about laying 5 points, which is huge. I mean, the key numbers in NBA are 4 through 9. So a jump from 3 to 5 is significant, and we're talking about now laying 5 points with a team that doesn't cover a lot on the road against a team that covers a lot at home. So we're entering some pretty dangerous territory here. I just really hate the matchup for the Pacers. I would still lean Denver, but at 5, this is probably more of a pass. Hopefully you grabbed Denver at -3 when you saw my video last night, if you were able to. If not, use your judgment. If you're trying to go sharp, fade everybody, take the Pacers +5, but I don't like the matchup for them.
Yeah, I actually grabbed it at 3.5 yesterday. I still kind of like them at 5. I mean, Pacers lost 4 of the last 5. It's the injury list that gets me worried with the Pacers. You know, Halliburton out, Nembhard, Jackson all questionable. Denver's at full health. I mean, Siakam's been 0-2 since he came in. I mean, the Nuggets beat the Pacers 7 in a row. They're going to have a hard time with Jokic. They're terrible rebounding. So, you know, if anything, maybe Jokic, you know, I don't want to be prop beaver. I'm not him. That ain't me. But over the rebounds for Jokic, and I don't know. They're just, you know, defensively. I mean, even defensively, the Nuggets have a great scoring defense. I mean, they're 10th in field goal defense this season, and then coupled that with they're 4th in the league in field goal percentage on offense. I just don't see the Pacers keeping up. I know they're good against the spread team, but 30th in field goal defense, 20th in 3-point defense. Pacers just terrible defense altogether. I would ride with the Nuggets.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with what both these guys said. And Dougie Ray in the comments. First of all, I put up Hornets +12.5 as my lean. I was leaning Hornets. I was just saying, because someone made a joke about the Hornets money line. I said, that's crazy. Yeah, it would have hit. But I was leaning Hornets. It's not like I was like, fade the Hornets. So let's clear that up. 62%, 23% in favor of Denver. So, yeah, no question. If you're taking the Nuggets, you're getting the worst of the number, and you're on a heavy public road favorite. Not the spot you typically want to be betting-wise. I love the matchup for the Nuggets, but like I said, at 5, we might have missed the train here. Next game.
Pacers were able to keep it within 8 at Denver without Halliburton just a few games ago. So
yeah, Pacers have been playing well, and that one game rings in my head when they were on the road in Sacramento and they had nobody playing, and they should, by all means, should have gotten blown out, and they actually beat the shit out of the Kings. So that's what's just like ringing in my head here. Let's move on to the next game. I think we go back to college basketball now. Yep, Kentucky, South Carolina. Let's clear Andy's pick here. Let's get the poll running. I know a lot of people talking about this game. This line, is this now 5.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it 6 some places.
Yeah, it's just skyrocketing.
So I said last night on YouTube, I said I like South Carolina. It was at 4.5. I said I like South Carolina, but I'm going to wait. I'm hoping to grab a +6 before tip-off. Now, and the line's moving towards the way I said, so I look smart right now. Sometimes you say that and you look like a moron. It drops to 3.5 instead. So the line's moving as I expected it to, and I'm sticking to what I said last night. I like the Gamecocks. I don't have any evidence to prove this. I just think there's got to be some people flooding in on Kentucky, buying into the hype of this Big Z character. Everyone's like, oh, they're unbeatable now. And we're talking about laying 5.5 points on the road against an elite home defense or a team that's played elite defense at home. 5.5, this isn't the NBA. Catching 5.5 points at home is some serious shit in college basketball. It's a big number, especially with a team that plays good defense. So I'm on the Gamecocks here. I wouldn't even be mad at it if you sprinkled the money line. Might even do so myself. I'll hit up the Discord after, see if anyone's down to ride that with me. I'm on the Gamecocks for sure. Andy?
Yeah. I am a little afraid of the Big Z mania.
Yeah, because
like
he did it to your Georgia Bulldogs.
Look, and the thing is about South Carolina is they aren't a big team, but it's not even his height that worries me. It's more of just that he can do everything. That's what's worrying me. They're not a great, like, I do think South Carolina will cover. I want to be clear about that. I'm going to pace everything with that. I do think
so do I put South Carolina under your face?
Yes, the line's going to keep going up. And obviously that's because it's a small line. Everybody's thinking, hey, Kentucky doesn't usually blow teams out in these games. Like, they don't always blow every SEC team out. And in this one, like, I do think the size advantage is to Kentucky, which is rare. But I think South Carolina's defense at home will be good. I think all of that coupled with the fact that, like, this kid is still new. He played one game. Like, I'm afraid, will he have a run like he did against Georgia? Maybe. But I'm not buying completely into Kentucky just because he's coming into this game. Like, if this game happened a week ago, probably think South Carolina could win the game. Like, I'm not going to go crazy about Kentucky here because of that one game. But I am a little nervous that he could get on a run because he did do it the other day. And having 3 blocks in 16 minutes, like he is insane. But I'm not going to completely buy in on him.
All right, 2 for South Carolina. Toast?
I can't get there, guys. I cannot get there. I didn't bet Kentucky. I lean Kentucky. I wouldn't lay the 5. I would play their team total, whatever it is, if I had to. But just a couple things here. Like Andy mentioned, huge size difference. Even if you take out Big Z, Kentucky was going to be huge compared to South Carolina. I understand that Kentucky doesn't rebound offensively very well. That's because they make a lot of fucking shots. I mean, they're 7th in the nation in 3-point percentage, 19th in 2-point percentage. I mean, they're hitting free throws.
They're due for a cold night outside. I mean,
they just don't freaking miss. So again, this is their 3rd road game of the year. They played Louisville. Everybody beats Louisville, and then they lost to A&M. The thing that's bothering me is that Kentucky lost to South Carolina last year, so I have a feeling that Cal has this game circled. I just don't want to get in the middle of it. I think you just
Big C was still
Kentucky.
in Serbia when that happened. This doesn't affect the current Kentucky team.
I'm not really big on Big Z. I think that he'll be schemed out sooner or later in the tournament. I mean, he's going to be good, but I don't really worry about it as a huge thing. But yeah, I just can't get there.
Scoop, what are you on?
Yeah, KY versus the Cox. I mean, I'm on the Gamecocks. I just think Stupien hurts his team. He's a solid perimeter shooter, but like you guys said, they're strongest defensively. They rank 4th in SEC in opposing a field goal percentage. third in assist rate allowed, third in 3-point rate allowed. They're just disciplined on the defensive end. They lead the SEC in free throw rate allowed. They're just I just think the defense is too much. I mean, obviously, offensively, they're not there, but I think the tempo is going to hold this game. They're slow. They're really slow.
And Kentucky plays fast. Take them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, they're going to hold it slow. The tempo pretty much is going to hold. I mean, they hold people to 64 points per game because of their tempo. And Kentucky's field goal percentage is 12% lower on the road than it is at home.
I bet you didn't have that one in your notes, Toast. 12% lower.
I like you guys said, it went from 3.5 to 6. I like South Carolina here, and I like their defense.
Gamecocks.
Cox.
Yeah, Kentucky did have a game against Florida where they shot 25% from 3. If they do that, they're not going to win many. They're not going to win.
You sure you want to switch your graphic over to South Carolina, Toast? Not too late.
They won and covered against Florida, just FYI.
They shot 25%.
Yeah, but Florida.
South Carolina,
but Florida minus. But Florida minus.
But
Florida minus 3 was the sharp move in that one.
It was. Ask system plays.
40% to 39%. So our community split on this one, but South Carolina does win the poll slightly. Let's move on to the next game. We got one more college, then we're going back to the NBA. Texas at Oklahoma. Not going to lie, not exactly loving the pick I gave out last night. I'm not changing. Oh, no, I think this one's at 5.5 now. Am I right? I think it's at 5 now. So I'm not changing off of Oklahoma. I didn't realize the entire world was going to be taking Oklahoma. I don't have as much of a feel to the college market as I do the NBA. Like in the NBA, I'm able to like anticipate, oh, that's going to be heavy public just because I'm looking at it all day, every day. So when I gave out Oklahoma on YouTube last night, I thought at 4.5 there were going to be some action on Texas. Looks like everyone's taking Oklahoma, and that's not a reason to change your bet necessarily. It just makes me a little nervous, that's all. So I'm on the Sooners, and the reason being, same thing I said last night. The home-away splits are insane here. Oklahoma's numbers at home in comparison to on the road, night and day. They've been really good at home. I believe they're a perfect 11-0 at home, right, Toast?
Yep.
Perfect 11-0 at home. And Texas numbers on the road in their true road games hasn't been great. So just playing the home-away splits at 5.5, though, not loving it as much as I thought I would. Toast?
Yeah, at Big 12 home court, it's one of those things where it's obviously a huge advantage for them. I really think this Texas team is bad. I think they got a bad head coach. I think they got very lucky to beat Baylor. Their previous 2 games before that, they lost to West Virginia and UCF. So, especially on the road, this Texas team's played, 2-3 games on the road? West Virginia, Marquette, and is that the only one?
Yeah, they had one. So, yeah. They're 1 and 2. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, West Virginia or Cincinnati, that's what it was. They won that 1-point game, the last-minute buzzer beater at Cincinnati. So they should be essentially 0-3 on the road. It's a lot of points, but I would lean Oklahoma as well.
All right. Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the Big 12 home kick, like Toast said. Texas just fought a hard-fought game against Baylor. They shouldn't even probably won. If they didn't win that, they would have lost 4 in a row. Texas shot over 50% in that Baylor game from 3. Still needed a buzzer beater. Oklahoma's just an extremely good perimeter defense. They're not going to shoot over 50% this game. Oklahoma's allowing 27.7 from 3-point, which is good for 7th in the nation. Top 50 in adjusted offensive and defensive efficiency in KenPom. It's just, and then plus, they're just Baylor's just a way better defensive team than Texas is, and I mean it's going to show that. This is going to show it pretty much here. It's going to be like 10. I think a 10 or 11-point win for Oklahoma.
Andy?
Yeah, he said it perfectly there. I think the close games, Texas is. I mean, they had games all year. The Louisville one, that win against Baylor. I don't think they deserve it. I agree with Toast. I just don't think they're a very good team. I like this Oklahoma team. I don't think they're the best in the Big 12 or anything, but I do think. As the number grows, I think they're going to win this one by 10, so I'd feel comfortable at it anyway. Like, Big 12 home teams, obviously that's a great trend, but also Texas just ain't very good. That's just the truth.
All right. 61%, 20%. So, again, everyone's taking Oklahoma, which is what has me a little bit scared. I didn't realize it was going to be quite like that, but it's 60%, 20% to the Sooners. Next. Oh, we got one more college basketball before we go back to the NBA. It's Big 10. This line, when I recorded this video last night, it was 5.5, and I was like, "Give me Minnesota plus 5.5." And then I recorded it, and then I put the footage into Adobe Premiere to edit it. It's down to 3. It's at 3.5 right now, I believe. But this line moved an insane amount while I was recording. So in like a 45-minute span, some sharp money must have came in on Minnesota.
It's because Minnesota's like the number 1 covering team in the nation. So as soon as their line drops, people hit their number as soon as they get it. Bang, 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 bang.
And rightfully so if they continue to cover. So, yeah, I mean, say less. Minnesota at home plus 3.5.
Is Dawkins playing for
I don't even know who that is. I'm an NBA guy. I'm telling you guys. So let's bring up Toast because he actually likes Wisconsin. He's big on this Wisconsin team. Are you taking him here?
I just think I didn't play them because they're on the road. I did lean that way. I think that number's getting a little bit better. Wisconsin's really good. I mean, they played a top 25 schedule. I understand Minnesota's been covering a lot, but they've also played a 200th ranked schedule. So Wisconsin, one of those teams that is very, very slow, methodical, but they're also very efficient offensively. They're one of the biggest teams in the country. Minnesota does have a turnover problem, but Wisconsin's not a type of defense that's really going to turn you over because of how methodically they play. The issue with Minnesota for me in these tight games are 3.5, 4-point spreads is that the free throw percentage, 300th in the country in free throws. I just really can't trust that team. So it's Wisconsin or pass for me.
All right, let's bring up Andy. What do you think?
Yeah, the number dropping to 3.5 does scare me a little bit. I'll stick with Minnesota as well. Last night when we were doing the video, I was on Minnesota. Wisconsin's played 5 true road games, so that's a pretty good sample size. They've been awful, pretty much on both sides of the ball. So that's really the thing that's getting me. Minnesota, obviously, they cover a lot. They're one of the best in the nation. So, like, I feel good about that. The number falling does piss me off there. At 5.5, it was a lock for me. Then it might have been my best bet, but here I still lead them.
Scoop?
Yeah, I'm going to lean Wisconsin, especially if Dawkins doesn't play for Minnesota. That's just going to put pressure on the rest of their team. I just think Wisconsin's more efficient, and they're going to control the pace, the tempo, knock down shots. Like Toast said, Minnesota hasn't exactly played the toughest schedule, so I would definitely lean Wisconsin in this one.
The community is on me and Andy's side. 45%, 34%. So not like an overwhelming blowout. But Minnesota does win the poll. Community slightly leaning towards the Gophers. Next. NBA. Welcome back, Prop Beaver. Someone said in the comments before that Prop Beaver is one of the funniest people on YouTube. And honestly, they just must not know you very well.
Yeah, they don't know him in real life.
Yeah, just try sitting next to him in an office for 40 hours a week. He's not funny.
No, that come on. You and Andy, you sit there, you crack up. You know what's happening.
You can't watch Love Island.
You can't handle Love Island. All right, Knicks.
I need to focus.
Knicks Nets in Brooklyn. Tell me this isn't the squarest shit ever. I bet it.
Dude,
I gave it out
it's impossible.
Oh, so here's my take on it. So I already bet the Knicks, gave it out last night, and I bet it. I am on the Knicks. No turning back. No question. This is so square, and the sharp move is to take Brooklyn at 4. It was at 4.5. It got bought down to 4. Here's the thing. I think the Sharps are wrong here. I think they're just trying to be a little too cute with this one. This is no question a mismatch in favor of the Knicks. I get it. With Hartenstein probably not playing, the Knicks are missing both centers, and maybe that's the angle they're playing here. Knicks are missing both their fives, but dude, even without Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson, the Knicks should still dominate the glass. I mean, Julius Randle could probably go in and play the 5 and still. I actually played Knicks moneyline parlayed with Julius Randle double-double for that reason. Probably going to grab 15 rebounds in this game. The Knicks still have the significant rebounding advantage on the defensive side, I should say, even without Hartenstein, even though he's been grabbing a lot of boards. Not to mention, Knicks have been pretty hot shooting the outside shot. The Nets are terrible defensively out there. Nets rely on a lot of jump shots offensively. Knicks have been really good defensively on the perimeter. It's just across the board. This is a favorable matchup for the Knicks. And then on top of that, the Knicks historically always beat the shit out of the Nets. What are they, 17-7 against the spread in their last 24 or something like that? They're 10-3 in their last Knicks are 10-3 against the spread in their last 13 trips to Brooklyn. The Nets are the Knicks' little brother, and even with the injuries, even though it's super square, there's just no way I could get the Brooklyn here. I think the people that bought in on Brooklyn plus 4.5 are trying to be too cute and played this one wrong, personally.
Before Proppy does his props. I mean, Knicks won 18 by 18 3 straight games, at least by 18 to the Nets. I mean, and since mid-December, the Nets are 3-15-1 against the spread. Nets rank in the bottom 10 effective field goal percentage. Knicks actually rank first on defense in effective field goal percentage. The Nets don't have someone that could score. They just don't. You can't rely on anyone on their team. Hartenstein, like you said, is probably going to be out, which is a lot of rebounding, but I still think Randall and even Precious Achiuwa can do
right.
Pick up the
There's still a problem for the Nets.
I mean, like you said, it's really square, but four is not a big number. Knicks have some scorers. You can't. Like you said, you can't just trust the Nets roster right now.
And someone's saying, if that's true, why is the spread only 4? The game's in Brooklyn, so the spread's 4 here. That means it would be.
It's not even a home field. It's not even home court advantage.
Right. Well,
if
the line's 4 in Brooklyn, that means the line would be close to 10 in New York. Scoops leading Knicks also. Look, the sports books will get cleaned out if the Knicks covered this. So this is a super square move, but
I would probably lean Josh Hart over rebounds, honestly. Problem is, it's a bit juiced up right now. It's at minus 132. Cheapest. Some other books have it at like minus 140. But I think if anybody's gonna, I didn't make a graphic for it. I'm just looking at it now. But I think if anybody's gonna make up for the lack of Hartenstein on the glass, Hart is an excellent rebounder. And if you look at the last time he played the Nets, he had 13 rebounds. In that game, he had 18 rebound chances, and Hartenstein had 18 rebound chances. So he tied with Hartenstein for the lead in rebound chances. Now you got Hartenstein off the court, a guy who was leading the league in rebound chances his last 10 games. And I mean, at 6.5, it might be even worth the juice to take that over there. Or even put a half unit on 7.5 at like plus 125 or something.
Yeah, there's some people in the comments taking Brooklyn. I mean, I get it. If you're just fading the square side, I just don't see it in this one. I would love to be with you. This kind of line movement is a line that I usually love to play the dog in. It's just I also need the matchup to be favorable. I need to see something. I don't see any angles. I mean, the Nets offensively are so reliant on their jump shooters. They're all jump shooters, and the Knicks have one of the best perimeter defenses in the NBA, and they're red hot right now. Actually, they're first in defensive efficiency in the last 10 games. So the Knicks haven't been letting anybody with OG Anunoby added. There's so much length on the perimeter for the Knicks defensively. Grimes plays some good defense out there too. But yes,
I think if the Nets attack the rim more, this would be more of a favorable
exactly. If the Nets were a team that attacked the rim, like if this was like an injured Pacers team, I'd be all over the +4. But the Nets just don't attack the rim. 72% to 19%. Everyone's on the Knicks here. So, yeah. Another NBA. We're going Jazz. I actually got a +7. Jazz +6.5. Pelicans -6.5. And the action's pretty split on this one. There's a lot of people that like the Pelicans out there. A lot of people that like the Jazz. I'm taking the Jazz. Jazz are 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 on the road. I'm giving them one last ride. I cashed so many consecutive bets with the Jazz. I did lose the last 2. But I mean, is this team going to really go from 14-3 against the spread to just all of a sudden an auto fade? They're still playing well. The 2 losses against Oklahoma City, that was a tough matchup. It was a tough spot for the Jazz against a Thunder team that needed a win. They were coming off, I think it was either 2 or 3 straight losses into that game. So it was a great spot for Oklahoma City. And then they went on the road to play Houston. The Rockets are a pretty good team at home. That's not the case for the Pelicans. The Pelicans have been better on the road. New Orleans is just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 at home. Bottom line, my opinion on this game is this number is wrong. Should be about 3. So at 6.5, I think we're getting tons of value. I think Jazz could win it. I still don't think people have truly caught on to how well the Jazz have been playing the last month and a half. I mean, they look excellent. They should completely control the glass too. Now, I'm a little worried offensively because the Pelicans do defend what the Jazz try to do typically, but you can say the same thing about the Jazz on the other side, which is why if you're leaning a total here, I'd go under at 239. So I'd also like the under 239, but I'm just going to go with the Jazz. Scoop.
Yeah, I'm actually agreeing with you a lot today, which is not right. I'm
It's
still
old
on the
school.
Jazz
I'm the
program.
GOAT. You got to tail me, bro. I get it.
That Suns game was gross. I don't care, from the Pelicans, but I don't care about the last 2 losses. They're still 7-1 in the last 8 against the spread. Plus, they covered 6 straight against New Orleans. And I'm sorry to whoever lives in New Orleans, but the Great Smoothie King Arena doesn't do much for me. I don't even think they care about basketball there. Best thing the Smoothie King Arena did was host the NCAA women's volleyball tournament in 2002.
Okay.
It's an awful home arena. Jazz are at full strength. They're a better rebounding team. Pelicans haven't been shooting, great from the outside. I got to roll with 6 and like you said. I think 4 is just. I mean, it should be around 4 or 3.5, but 6.5 is too much. I just like Utah here.
AJ, prop beaver.
Yeah, so for this one, I'm gonna go with Zion Williamson over 10.5 rebounds plus assists. I played just the assist last night at -125, but now that's at -150, -160. So I think this is a pretty fair pivot. I like both of these lines. This is a team that he's just, as Andy would say, has absolutely fucking decked in his career. Averaging 27 points per game. And as a result, this is going to be Will Hardy's #1 priority defensively. We've seen Utah force him to facilitate more, as in his last 6 games against them, he's hit 5+ assists 5 times, averaging 5.7. And in those games, he also hit his rebounds plus assists line 4 out of 5 times, including 4 straight, averaging 13.2 rebounds plus assists. So there's a sizable edge there. I just think that in terms of racking up the assists, this is a beautiful spot. 61% of his assists come from 3-point land. And if you know this Jazz team, that's the way you got to beat them. On the road this season, they're 27th in defensive efficiency, 25th in above the break field goals made, 28th in corner field goals made, and 30th in assists per game allowed. And this is a pace-up spot. He's already cashed a fair amount of his recent games, and specifically Utah's allowed the 5th most assists per game to power forwards, a bottom 10 defense in terms of allowing rebounds to power forwards as well. Jonas Valanciunas, I think he's going to have a tough time on the glass tonight. So I just love the spot. I think they're going to make everybody else beat him, and I think he could get 7-8 assists alone here. So not asking much for him to just do the basics on the board.
I like how Scoop is baited enemy of a bunch of fine folks from New Orleans in the comments, insulting the Smoothie King Center or whatever. So our poll's leaning towards Utah, 51%, 41% in favor of the Jazz. So another poll where we're pretty split. Jazz do win the poll, but not by much. Next. Another NBA. Real heater here. I'll put the poll up for a second, but
Yay.
If you guys saw last night on YouTube, the last 2 times Oklahoma City has seen Portland, they've seen them twice this year. They've beat them by a combined over 100 points. So they beat the shit out of the Blazers twice in a row. So I know last night I said I would go Thunder or pass, but to be honest, I would probably go Portland or pass. But the key word there is pass, because I have no interest. Prop Beaver, is there something here?
No, there's not something here. What I think I would do, maybe, I was talking about that Josh Hart line earlier. It's about like -132, -150 on some books. I would just pair it with the Thunder money line and get a better line there. I mean, it would be insane for this Portland team to go into OKC and beat them after what OKC's done. It's just a horrendous matchup for them. OKC could literally do whatever they want. They're a team that loves to drive to the paint, attack the rim, and just like, who the fuck is going to stop them? DeAndre Ayton certainly isn't. I don't know, man. Portland kind of looks like they've packed it in lately. They look pretty terrible right now.
Yeah, but I think in Portland's defense, they keep having those guards questionable now. I think injury-wise, this is the best shape they've been in. It's just Sharp out now. Brogdon's been on and off the report. Simons was on and off the report. So those guards, which is pretty much the focal point of the Blazers team, they've been like on and off. They've had different combination of guards every single game. So I think finally it's settling a little bit. But I mean, I agree with you. This game fucking sucks. Scoop?
I'm not passing. I am definitely on the Thunder train. Like you said, last 2 times they played, 139-77, 134-91, a solid -105. No shading Sharp. I mean, with him, they're a worse offensive team anyway. It's not going to matter. Not even that. They suck at defense, too. They're just a miserable team. I don't see anything except a blowout here. I think OKC just destroys them.
They couldn't stop Oklahoma State from racking up points in the paint. So yeah, our polls on Oklahoma City 30%, 56%. Yo, he's James Matthews. You not listening? I said I'm passing. I put Portland up because if you put a gun to my head and it said you have to bet a side of this game, I would take Portland just blindly playing the big number. But no, I'm not betting Portland. What are you, crazy?
Just say you love the Blazers.
Now we're going back to college basketball, so none of you have to listen to Prop Beer anymore. All right, Xavier at Creighton. Big East. And I cut him off right when I said that, so like he can talk and they can't hear him. We can hear him in our ears, but they can't. All right. So Xavier Creighton, the line is 8.5. Line's been at 8.5 since last night. Toast, what are your thoughts?
I like Creighton pretty well here. So I have two plays. Just you can put Creighton -6.5. I also paired Creighton.
Wait, I have 8.5.
What did I say?
You said 6.5.
6.5.
Oh, sorry. Boise State 6. That's why. Creighton -8.5. First of all, the shot quality model loves it. They have it as a 14-point win. I just don't see what Xavier is going to do to score. They're really weak as far as 2-point field goal percentage. That's actually one of Creighton's better things that they do defending. But they also, Xavier does a really good job of shooting the three ball. They're usually a top 100 three-ball shooting team in the country, but Xavier with that length out on the perimeter, I mean, they're 32nd in the country, limiting teams to just 30% from outside. I mean, besides Kalkbrenner, who's a 7'1" monster, and Frederick King, who's 6'10", I mean, Trey Alexander, 6'4", Baylor Shireman, 6'7". I mean, what Xavier's got that Desmond Claude kid who's 6'6". I mean, they just really not that big. Creighton, I understand, hasn't looked good at certain times during the year, but I think coming off that why I didn't play this last night is they were coming off a 3 overtime win, but I'm not going to let that scare me. Back at home, I think this is a major step down in class for them after playing St. John's, UConn, and Seton Hall, all three teams that's very, very good defensively. So I think Creighton rolls here and they win by double digits.
Yeah, I don't like how the line has just been sitting there, but I'd have to put up the same thing. But I have no interest in this. So let's bring up Andy, who might have something he likes.
Yeah, the way I was looking at it, and I thought he was right there. Coming off a 3 overtime game, it's not even only that game. The game before they played probably the worst game they've played all year. So you would think this would be a really good regroup spot because even Creighton, McDermott will tell you, going triple overtime with Seton Hall was not what they expected. I mean, especially coming into Big East play, they thought that was an easy game. Playing a tough game like that, Xavier's not going to be any easier. Like, Xavier's a very tough team. They might not be as talented, but this Xavier team is very tough. I think because it's at home, I'd side Creighton, but I would not be surprised if I looked up and I even saw like Xavier winning late in the game.
Well, what I don't like is that the line's not moving, though. It's at 8.5 last night, 8.5 this morning. Nothing?
I don't know if it's I don't think it's.
I mean, I know this game's a coin flip to a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of people betting Xavier. I know a lot of people betting Creighton. So Xavier just played a really strong or tough game physically against Georgetown too, that they barely won by 1. Yeah. So I mean, I think you're right though, Andy. That's how I looked at it. I saw it as a Creighton bounce back spot after playing their worst game of the season, probably in 2 or 3 years against UConn, coming back with a 3 overtime victory, and now they're back home after 2 away games. But that's just me.
Toast, do you have any lean on this one? It seems like we're kind of undecided. Toast is leaning Creighton. I just put Creighton up because for the hell of it. I don't have anything in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually with Toast. I mean, you look at Xavier and say they won their last 3 games, but one was a comeback against Georgetown, which they should have lost. A Providence team they're struggling without Bryce Hopkins. And then a Butler team where they were tied with 9 minutes left. I still don't forget they lost to Oakland and Delaware. Creighton's 8-1 at home, should take care of business. Creighton's defense is going to be the factor here. I mean, they're 7th in adjusted efficiency, and Xavier's an awful field goal percentage team. I mean, they're in the bottom 200 in 2-point percentage and just overall. They're not going to have enough. They're not going to have enough to beat this team. And I think like Toast said, Creighton should win by double digits.
We got the guy Griffin in the comments. He's a big East fan. He doesn't like the Creighton play. He's leaning Xavier, but he does like our Georgetown play. So he likes the Hoya move.
I also don't like the fact that Xavier has UConn on deck too. So that's just a big 2 games for them. They lose both of these games, they could be out of the tournament. So I think that it's a bad spot for those boys.
Our poll, obviously, as you would expect, is heavy on Creighton, which is why I'm a little worried that the line doesn't move. But 50%, 20% in favor of Creighton. Next. Big Ten. I don't even know why we have this game queued up. Andy made the graphics for this game. I was like, I guess he wants to talk about it.
I mean, the reason it's because it's Michigan and Purdue. I mean, it is a big brand game. I think it's obvious. I think they lose by 30 tonight. I think Purdue beats them badly.
30. You're gonna lay 29.5.
Dude, no, but I do think they beat them very badly. I mean, Michigan, even if Doug McDaniel was playing today, they still don't have enough offense. Now they don't have him. They don't have much rebounding. I mean, Edey's going to get whatever he wants today. They have no offense to combat it. I think this could be, I would say safely, I think this would be a 20-point game. Like I don't see any reason why Michigan would keep it close here.
Well, I hope you're thinking it's going to be a 20-point game. Shit, you're laying 17 and a half.
Yes, I think I would be genuinely surprised. I would be floored if this was a close game.
You'd be floored.
At any point. I'd be floored. I'd be decked. Yeah. I'd be stunned.
Yo, someone in the comments said something I never thought I'd hear. Scoop sounds knowledgeable here.
Dude, I know more than you in college basketball.
What?
Yeah,
Bro, 73,000 subscribers says you don't.
I'm glad I work for this company. It's really nice.
All right, Scoop. Bless us with your knowledge, then.
Yeah, I completely disagree with Andy.
You're on Michigan?
I actually hate Michigan, but I'm gonna side with him here. And it's one of my favorite bets.
It's one of your favorite bets. Is Michigan plus
17.5? 17.5. The number's insane. Purdue didn't cover the last 3 games. 29 against Eastern Kentucky, 18 Penn State, 10.5 Illinois. Purdue's not a fast team. Edey's gonna get his 20 plus. Michigan is. They're terrible. Their program's a mess. But the line is just inflated. It's insane. They're still a Big Ten team. Doesn't look like it on the court, but
are they?
Yeah,
no,
for
real.
They're barely they're barely there. But I mean, it doesn't look like it, but they're still 79th in Ken Palm rankings. They're better than a lot of other teams in this Big Ten, even if it doesn't look like it. 17.5 is insane. They're gonna win, but I still think Purdue wins. I still think they're gonna win easily, but I still think they're gonna win by like 10, 9.5. Andy's crazy. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Shipley says if Scoop's on Michigan, I'm putting the house on Purdue.
Good.
There's a guy who knows Scoop.
First of all, Detroit is one of the worst.
We're not starting a Pistons talk in here. All right, let's bring up Toast. Toast, is Scoop out of his mind?
No, I don't think he's out of his mind. I didn't play Michigan personally. I passed, but Purdue just has a propensity of just shutting it down in the second half. I would be not surprised if they're up 25, 30 points with 12 minutes to go in the second half. They pull their starters and Michigan is able to cover this number. Like, that's just kind of how it wouldn't surprise me at all. But keep in mind, Purdue is just an offensive juggernaut. They've also played the hardest schedule in the country. Their metrics are all back that up. Michigan played them close last year, but they had Hunter Dickinson and all that stuff. I mean, you take Doug McDaniel away, it's just a lot to take away. But again, Purdue doesn't really keep their foot on the gas pedal at all. I mean, if you watch or bet Purdue with these big numbers, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, gun to my head, I guess I would lean Purdue, but it scares the hell out of me with this team laying a huge number like that.
I want to bring up this comment here from Luke Getz. He says Purdue's their smashes teams. Michigan only good win recently was against Ohio State, and they shot 60% from 3. And the reason I want to talk about that comment is because I called that Ohio State game. It was the first game after the Natty. They were going to honor Harbaugh. That's why they won. So
I heard JJ McCarthy's going to be at this game, though. So
he's flying out to Indiana.
He's flying in.
No, he's not, bro. JJ McCarthy, you never mention Michigan again. He's on the bigger and better things. 55%, 28% in favor of Purdue. Scoop on a Michigan island. And I have a reason to watch this game now, so I can talk shit to Scoop in the Discord all night.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, bro.
JJ McCarthy's getting ready for those practice squads he's going to be playing for.
All right. So, last college game, and then we got one more NBA, and then we're done. Houston, BYU, and I apologize for last night. on the YouTube video, I said BYU +3. I'm on the other side now. Toast likes Houston, and a couple people in the Discord like Houston. People who know college basketball better than I do like Houston, and not Scoop, just like other people. And so I said BYU in the video, and I'm sorry if you saw that and went and bet it. I really thought it was I really thought that's what I would be on, but after talking to some people, I think I'm on the other side. And I didn't bet it yet, so it's not like, oh, I'm locked in, all in on Houston, but I would lean this way now. But let the college basketball guys talk to you about it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, my interface is muted or doesn't work. Anyway, yeah, I said this yesterday that if this line stayed at 2.5 or 3 over the night, that I would probably bet it for a few units. So I actually had just bet it. Look, I understand how good BYU has been at home, but you also have a Houston team that's been absolutely fantastic. Yes, they lost their 2 first road games in the year, but both of those teams are very good defensively. BYU does not fit that same to me, at least, as far as them. I mean, I understand they're 20th in efficiency and whatnot, but this Houston team is going to grind this game out, slow this game down. I understand it's at home for BYU too, but it's very clear that the bookmakers have no problem giving out BYU at this number, or this number would be coming down, because I swear to God, I don't know anybody betting Houston. It had nothing to do with what Sauce's video or anything. I'm just saying on social media. So BYU has a pretty decent height advantage, but besides that, I just really find it hard. I think Houston has the best 2 players on the court in Shed and Cryer. So I think this is a pretty big step up for BYU, and I think Houston finally gets their first Big 12 road win.
Cool. Andy, do you agree with him?
No, I'm on BYU.
You didn't even tell me that.
I wrote that video and you got BYU out of it.
Hold on. So the one thing you wrote about the BYU's offensive home away splits is pretty serious. They're first in offensive rating at home, which is cool, but they haven't seen a defense like this.
I mean, yes, you're right, but I mean, you're never going to see a defense like this. This defense gives up 51 points a game, which is insane. I mean, that's crazy. But also, they haven't gone to a place like BYU yet. BYU is a very tough place to play. I would say it's the best, probably. Okay.
Did you not think we could hear you?
I heard.
Like,
I know.
I mean, no. I mean, maybe I'm falling for the home away too much. But I just think at home, Houston's offense on the road ain't great. I don't think they're a spectacular offensive team, right? Obviously, the defense is going to be what everybody sees. I think I don't know if BYU wins it, but I think it's a 1-2 point typical Big 12 game. I think 1-2 point game for me.
All right.
I'm not riding the Big 12 home team here. Yeah, I just think Houston decks them, honestly. I think they win by 10 plus here.
You think we're going to see a decking?
I know they're
tonight?
0-3 against the spread on the road. I know that. BYU is a jump shot team. I mean, the problem is Houston defends that well. It's just a good spot to win and get a cover on the road. They obviously, everyone knows they lead the league in defensive efficiency. Pretty much every defensive category you could think of. Some of those are out of conference, but they lead them in most of the Big 12 categories too. BYU, it's their first Big 12 season. They're still getting used to all these teams. They're not going to get used to how Houston's playing defense. I mean, you saw them against UCF, held them to 12, 14 points in the first half. I know BYU's way better in offense than that, but they're going to be shocked by how Houston plays defense. They're going to get decked, just absolutely decked.
This is also Houston's first year as a Big 12 team.
No, yeah, but Houston's a way better team than BYU and the Mormons.
I like this Luke Getz guy. Look at this comment here. He said he's going to live bet this one. Whatever team takes an early lead, he's going to take the team behind him. I kind of like that. I like that approach.
That's the goal.
Thanks for the comment, Luke Getz. Our poll is heavy on Houston. 56%, 29% in favor of the Cougs. This is a Cougar community with the exception of Andy on a little BYU island by himself.
Both teams are the Cougars.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Either way,
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, so the Red Cougs. How about that?
The Red Cougs.
All right, let's go. Last game is NBA, so we'll bring out Proppy. Are you still with us? I was half. All right, Toast has to leave. Talk to you later, man.
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, Andy, we're gonna stay on this screen for the rest of it, so you could bounce. You could actually head on over here. If you want.
I'll head over.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you can leave too.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Last up, Lakers Clips.
They don't invite me. I live by them, but that's okay.
You live like an hour away, though.
I live a half hour, 45 minutes.
These guys are 10 minutes away. All right. Poll is up. Lakers Clippers. No LeBron James. I did not give out a pick for this one yet, but the fact maybe if the Lakers didn't beat the Clippers in their last matchup, I would be inclined to take a shot with the Lakers even without LeBron. But the fact that the Lakers, if you remember, they beat them, I think it was 106-103, and it was kind of like they ended the Clips hot streak. I mean, you could argue that they're still on that hot streak, but the Clips had won like so many games in a row, and it was like, oh, they're going to beat the shit out of the Lakers, and the Lakers beat them. If that game didn't happen, I would say this might be a sneaky shot, a sneaky spot to take the Lakers +9 without LeBron, but I don't see any reason to do that. So I think I noticed that the total it was like a 229.5, and then after LeBron news went up. I'm wondering, Proppy, do you have anything on the pace? Do the Lakers play a faster pace without LeBron James? Because I feel like it would be the opposite. I feel like they would play a slower pace, right? Because I feel like I always see him pushing the floor.
Yeah, I think that's very weird. I completely agree with you. He's a guy who thrives driving to the rim and transition. Right. So to take that,
I'm going to actually pull up the line movement right now on that to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I saw that. Hold, let me pull it up. So total Lakers 234.5. See, yeah, okay. So this morning at 6:30 a.m. This was 229.5. So it went up 5, but LeBron was already ruled out. That was last night. So LeBron, this total went up 5 points this morning. It's a lot. That's a lot of movement. I have no idea why. Just something significant. I guess I would lean Clips here. I'm kind of just rambling about nothing. I apologize for that. I just realized I don't even have a point. I would lean Clips here. It's just the fact that the Lakers beat them the last time is what really puts me over to the Clips. Everyone's going to be betting the Clippers without LeBron though. So I haven't bet this. Maybe won't even bet it. But I'm not seeing enough to take the Lakers here. Prop Beaver?
Yeah, I do not like this game. I was considering an Austin Reeves over point to rebound. He has a high hit rate without LeBron, but I could see this just getting messy. Clippers have been excellent shooting the outside shot recently, especially above the break, and that's where the Lakers have been getting killed lately. And then as far as defense goes, yeah, the mismatch of Mason Plumlee or Daniel Tice on AD is a bit gross, but they've been able to limit him in the past, and I could see them throwing doubles and all these different things at him. Also, D'Angelo Russell, he's going to shoot a lot of shots tonight. If it's not working, that game's going to really get ugly. So,
right, that's what I'm saying. It's like the path to the Lakers keeping it close seems way more unlikely than the path of them getting blown out.
Yeah, I mean, if it was LeBron on the court and we're getting like 5.5, sure, I'll play the Lakers. But I don't know. As I noted, by the way, in the video last night, or in writing the video last night, for some reason, when it's the Clippers at home instead of the Lakers at home, the Clippers have like beat their ass by
really?
I think it was an average margin of like 14 points per game, whereas the other one was way closer. So,
well, what's the difference? It's just the season ticket holders, right? That's it.
No. Well, the court says LA.
Who gives a shit?
Hey, it's all about.
You really think the color of the court matters, Prop Beaver? No,
Listen,
I think the only difference is
that's worse than my Josh Allen stuff.
If you don't know ball, you don't know ball.
People in the comments, is there any other difference in, I almost said Staples Center, in Crypto.com Arena other than the season ticket holders? Is there any difference between the Clippers and the Lakers? I'm asking because I don't know personally.
When did they get their new arena, by the way?
I think this is the second year as Crypto.com, I believe. I think actually
it's the same thing, just change the name.
Well, no, the Crypto.com bought the sponsorship for it, and I think right after they bought it, that's when Bitcoin dipped too. It was like crazy timing. Yeah. Scoop, would you do anything here?
I mean, I don't really like 9.5. I'm more like 6 and 7 for the Clippers. I'd lean the Clippers, but I mean, the Lakers beat Portland by 24, but that's like beating an elementary school team. So, LeBron's out, obviously. Clippers had that wild run against Brooklyn that ended the game. I think it was like a 22-0 run. But I mean, the Clippers are 8-3 in the last 11-4 straight up the last 15. And I do have the highest offensive efficiency in that stretch. And I, like you said, I'm actually leaning more to Clippers because the Lakers won the last 2 games and they covered against the spread the last 2. I just don't see them losing to the Lakers 3 in a row. I think it's their time to win.
I'm looking at the comments and no one answered my question. They have lights on for the Clippers and a lighter court. So, yeah, it's just the season ticket holders.
Completely different.
Hold on.
You just
Al
don't know.
Sports is saying it's psychologically very different when they change the colors of the floor. I call bullshit, man. I call bullshit on that. I'm not seeing it. Anyway, let's do the community parlay. You guys are all on the Clippers, as you should be. It's going to be a super square side. I don't even know if I'm going to bet it yet. So let's.
The Clippers are home. They get their new home next year, by the way.
Yeah, I knew that was coming soon. But yeah, Crypto.com, I believe this is the second year of that arena name. So what was, so we got Georgetown money line. They won. We got Kentucky money line. We got Nuggets money line. And then what was another college basketball game we did earlier? Texas, Oklahoma.
Kentucky.
Texas, Oklahoma. All right, so first leg of the community parlay. Cast your votes.
I'll add it.
So Patrick Swayze says, "Prop Beaver, I was with you until you started talking about the floor color."
It's all about the floor color. You just don't know.
You know what? The locker rooms too, because I guess the Clippers would get the home locker room.
Mm-hmm. It's like pitching. Like the day night splits. It's like
someone just said Anthony Davis is colorblind, but actually, as I'm saying that, like maybe he really is. So I shouldn't laugh. I started to laugh, thinking it was a joke. Maybe he really is. I don't know.
That could fuck up a shooting.
A shooting?
Yeah.
So the first leg is going to be Nuggets money line with Kentucky getting second place. So if you if you voted Kentucky, you will get another chance. Nuggets money line. All right. Next poll. Next poll was all NBA. We got Knicks money line. Jazz money line. They won that poll. Thunder money line. Oh God, that would be disgusting.
Minus 900 if you want that. By the way.
And Houston money line. That's the Houston Cougars, not the Houston Rockets.
Please don't vote for OKC because that adds literally nothing.
Yeah, no OKC, please.
By the way, whoever was on last time, you saw Colorado beat Oregon. Just want to let you guys know.
This guy said, "Can't wait to clown when the Lakers win." Dude, we all said we're not even betting. Clown who? What are you talking about? Can't wait to clown. We're all like, what? You need to get out more, my man. All right. So Knicks are in. The Knicks are in. What's up, Knicks? Nuggets and Knicks. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to trash that guy.
Hey.
All right. So, what other college games am I missing here, Scoop? You know what? I'll look it up because clearly
there was Kentucky. I got it right here. Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgetown, Butler, Texas, Oklahoma, Xavier, Creighton.
There we go. Creighton money line.
Houston, BYU.
Did that one. There's one more I'm missing.
And Michigan, Purdue.
Oh, I'm not putting that in.
Yeah.
So Creighton money line, Clippers money line. So Houston Cougars money line, they got second place, and the second place in the other one was Kentucky money line. So we're gonna take first and second from this poll.
Oregon. Jesus.
All right, so the Clippers are winning the vote. All right, it looks like it's going to be Clippers and Houston Cougars. Clippers money line, Houston money line. You have a sports book open?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
I'll open it.
I'm doing it now. I already got it. You guys are messed up.
I can't. I got the giggles, man. I can't.
Scoop, odds, please.
Plus 411.
Plus 411. Let's get ourselves a hit here, community. We got Nuggets money line, Knicks money line, Clippers money line, Houston money line at plus 411. Community's been cold. Tonight we need to snap out of it. Nuggets, Knicks, Clippers, and that's Houston Cougars. In case you're just tuning in, that's not the Rockets. They don't even play tonight. Nuggets, Knicks, Clippers, Houston. Thanks as always for watching. We'll be back tomorrow 4 p.m. Tomorrow's probably going to be an NBA show. It'll be me, Prop Beaver. I can't remember if I have a guest lined up. I'll have to check my DMs. I might. I'm sorry.
Maybe FTB.
Yeah, I haven't talked to FTB. So maybe I can grab. I'll get a guest. How about that? We're gonna do an NBA show and I'll get a guest. Scoop will probably be back on Thursday or Saturday. Let's have ourselves a good night. Hopefully, have a green one in the NBA. I need it. Let's remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord later.